Welcome into the Butcher versus the Spin Instructor. This is week number 4, I believe, of this show. I'm Neil McCready. Greg Jones is the Butcher. Campbell McCready is the Spin Instructor. It is week number 3 in the SEC. So, yeah, we did 1 week before, and then we did 3 weeks of SEC. So here we are in week 4, and we have a new leader for the first time. Campbell, you're trailing. Greg Jones was 6-1 last week. The only game he missed. This is really remarkable, Greg. Very few people go 6-1 and miss on because they took Vanderbilt. You did. We never said we'd be predictable. Greg had Vanderbilt covering against LSU. LSU blew Vanderbilt off the field. Campbell got that one right. Campbell also got the Arkansas Razorbacks right. Congratulations, Woo Pig, to the Hogs. Greg had Ole Miss beating Kentucky. Congratulations to the Rebels. It was a good day for both of you. Both of your teams won. Greg had an exceptional day picking. Campbell, you went 3-4. Not terrible. So here we sit right now. Greg is 11-8 overall. And my math makes no sense. Greg is 11-8. That's right. And Campbell is 10-9. So Campbell's a game back of Greg in this heated competition, as the stakes have never been higher. Speaking of steaks, Greg, I had some steaks for Carson's birthday from LB's. They were absolutely fantastic. Campbell, you weren't there. I'm sorry, but they were excellent. And so were the jalapeno poppers. So were the stuffed mushrooms. Just a phenomenal meal from the people there at LB's. You should get in on that too. Greg, what do you have going on at LB's right now?
Well, it's kind of a weird weekend with a hurricane rolling through town. But we'll be open just regular hours Saturday. Probably going to get out of LB's around 4 o'clock, maybe 4:30, to go watch the Rebs in the rain, maybe, or just go sit at the house and grill a nice steak and do like the mushrooms and the poppers, like you said, that are always so good. So it's a tough call this weekend, but we open probably from 10 to 4:30 on Saturday. Be rocking and rolling today, getting the truck in, getting some fresh fish, have plenty of ribeyes, plenty of flame train specials, and be ready to go.
Sounds great. I will definitely be making a trip to LB's here in 24 hours or so. Campbell, I know you're heading home tomorrow. You're fighting a little cold. You got some sinus stuff going on, but you had spin last night. You got classes again tonight. What do you have planned? Like a Ricky Martin class or something?
Well, I actually didn't spin last night. I got someone to sub.
Okay.
But I spin tonight. I have Justin Timberlake and Justin Bieber tonight. And I teach Friday tomorrow morning at 5:30 before I get home.
I'm not going to lie. I like some JT. He's good. I like Justin Timberlake. Now, Justin Bieber.
Yeah, I think you should call that spinning with the Justins night,
Yeah.
No, that's a good one.
It is good. Spinning with the Justins. All right. Let's get into the picks. Another crazy weekend. We'll start with LSU and Missouri. This game was originally scheduled to be played in Baton Rouge Saturday night. It has been moved to Columbia, Missouri because of Hurricane Delta, which is in the Gulf, threatening to drown us here in Oxford this weekend. So Missouri at home now at 11 a.m., the game to be seen on one of the ESPN networks. I don't know, ESPN, the Ocho perhaps. Missouri, a 20.5-point underdog at home against LSU. Greg, we'll let you lead off.
I'm going to start, and I'm going to go with Missouri here. I mean, I know LSU cranked it up in the second half against a really, really good Vanderbilt team. So, we'll have to just dodge the bullet there, and we'll go with Missouri right here with the points at home.
All right, Campbell.
I'm going to go with LSU because even though now they're not at home, a ton of my friends were going to go to that game actually in Baton Rouge this weekend. And now they can't, so they're all going their separate ways home. One of my friends drove to Nashville yesterday, actually. But for that reason, I will be picking LSU this week. I don't know what laying points mean, but
laying the points means that LSU has to win by 21 or more for you to win the game.
Okay. Then,
got it?
Yeah. I'm still, catching along.
You'll be here Saturday. As some of the games happen, I'll explain to you what is happening with your pick. I'm sure that you will be really enthralled in that, but
Oh, I'm so excited.
yeah, we'll just sit down and talk. All right, South Carolina, 0-2. Will Muschamp feeling some heat there in Columbia. They go to Vanderbilt, home of Greg Jones's Commodores. This game is at 11 a.m. It can be seen on the SEC network. South Carolina is a 12-point favorite on the road in Nashville. Campbell, what do you think?
Obviously, you're going to go South Carolina on this one. The one game Greg lost last week was the Vanderbilt game. I think that was a bad decision. So I will be going with South Carolina because Vanderbilt, I've figured out, really bad.
That is a very good football analysis from you. Vanderbilt is very bad. There's no disputing that. No one's arguing. Except maybe Greg. What do you think?
I mean, I might have had one bad decision last weekend, but also had five really good decisions. But we'll create that angle here. So, Vanderbilt's really bad, and I can't believe that my one loss was that I bet on Vanderbilt. So I'm going to not take them this week, and I'm going to go with Campbell on this one. And I think we're going to take South Carolina to the bank on this one.
I think that's a smart pick on both of your parts. Campbell and Greg going with the Gamecocks, giving the 12 at Vanderbilt. Oof, a rough game. All right, here's an interesting game. Actually, there's one more to get to before I get to that. Florida goes to Texas A&M. Florida is a 7-point favorite on the road in College Station. Weather could be a factor there, depending on whether this thing really shifts further to the west. But right now, it looks like they're going to be probably in the clear. 11 a.m. on ESPN. I think, Greg, it's your turn.
I hate to get on the Florida bandwagon, but, I think they're a decent club. They showed pretty that they could pull away against a decent South Carolina team, and it makes Ole Miss's win against Kentucky a little bit better, and because Ole Miss lost by 2 touchdowns and was kind of in the game. But I think Florida's a good club. I know Texas A&M just kind of got battered up a little bit against Alabama, so not a lot of good things come back after playing Alabama. So I like Florida to roll by 2 touchdowns here.
All right, Greg is taking the Gators and laying the 7 points. Campbell?
I'm going to agree with him. I'm going to pick Florida. Even though last year we got to go to the Dallas game and it was so much fun. This year we obviously did not get to do that. But you mentioned to me how Kyle Trask, is that how you say it, is off to a great start. So I'm going to pick Florida and agree with Greg.
That's really good, Campbell. That was a fun trip for you guys in Dallas. I remember how much fun that was. And you're right, Kyle Trask, one of 3 SEC quarterbacks right now that are in the top 5 in the country in quarterback rating, along with Ole Miss's Matt Corral and Alabama's Mac Jones. So 3 SEC quarterbacks playing at a really high level right now, including Kyle Trask. He's been very, very good. Okay, let's move on. Tennessee is at Georgia. This is an interesting game. It's a 2:30 game on CBS, 3:30 Eastern if you're in Atlanta, I guess heading to Athens for this one. Georgia goes to Alabama next weekend for the big game that everybody's talking about. Tennessee catches Georgia here. Tennessee is a 14-point underdog. The Vols 2-0 and actually look pretty good so far. Campbell, what do you think?
Honestly, I know nothing about either of these 2 teams. I don't really know the outcome of what their games were like last week, honestly. So I'm just gonna pick Georgia. I can't really give you a reason why. I just don't know nothing about either of these teams. So.
I'll just say this to Campbell. Georgia has invested a lot of resources into its football program over the last several years. They have really invested a lot in pursuing the most competitive roster that they could assemble there on a college football.
Is that like cheating? Like, is that considered cheating?
No, we just call it investing. We investing. Let me put it to you this way, Campbell. You you were a high school senior not long ago, and the demand for, let's just say, linebackers from North Mississippi was higher apparently than the demand for business majors. And
Well,
let's just put it that way. It'd be a little easier on the family budget, and you'd probably be enjoying your vehicle a little bit more if the role had been reversed. Is that fair, Greg?
Yeah, so it's basically we're not investing in the stock market. We're investing in, stocks to make our, stock go up.
Yes.
So, I mean, it's, it's just like investing in the stock market, but not really.
Yeah, it's like investing in the linebacker market. Campbell, so are you taking Tennessee or Georgia here? You got 14.
Georgia.
You're taking Georgia and laying the 14. Okay. Greg?
I know Campbell really hates the orange from Tennessee, so I'm just going to have to go with the orange from Tennessee here. I like the two touchdowns here. I think it's going to be a close game. I'm not saying that Georgia's not a good football club, but I think it's going to be a closer game than is out there, and I'll be gladly taking 14 points.
You know what? This is the one where I'd love to sit here and tell you that I think one of you is right. We did our picks earlier this morning at rebelgrove.com, and I took what you did, Greg, but I didn't feel great about it. I'm kind of up in the air. This is one that I'm really interested to see the outcome because it could go either way. I think Georgia's better than Tennessee. I'm with you. I don't think they're 14 points better. I think Tennessee's closing the gap. But Georgia looked really impressive last week. This is a weird game. It could go a lot of.
I mean, it can be one of those like Georgia's up by 10 with like 4 minutes to go, and Tennessee's driving in a pick six,
Sure.
for a cover.
Yeah, and I think Georgia could win by 24 points. I mean, it's just a weird game. All right, Arkansas, the Hogs, with a 1-game winning streak in the SEC after a 20-game losing streak. I think you get to claim a 1-game winning streak. Arkansas with the 1-game winning streak, they go to Starkville and win last weekend, 21-14. Everybody, I think, was pretty excited for the Hogs that night. A little tougher assignment this week. Arkansas goes to Auburn. It's a 3 p.m. game. It can be seen on the SEC network. Auburn, fresh off getting whipped at Georgia, is a 16.5-point favorite. Greg?
Man, it seems like once you win one, you get some confidence, regardless of how many you lost previously. So, got to give it to Arkansas here. I mean, more than 2 touchdowns on the road might not be enough, but I think Bo Nix is overrated. I've said that a couple of times already, and I'm going to stick to my guns here on this. And I'm going to go with the Arkansas Razorbacks with the confidence boost after the big victory in Starkville.
Campbell, what are your thoughts on Bo Nix?
I don't know who that is.
He's the Auburn quarterback. Who is? Okay, let's see. 2 weeks in, who is the Arkansas quarterback?
I don't know.
If I told you his first name, could you give me his last name?
Maybe.
Felipe.
Oh, I don't know.
Felipe Franks. That's great. All right, so you got your team, the Hogs, getting 16.5 at Auburn. I'm just going to go ahead and assume that you're taking Arkansas.
Yes. Obviously, last weekend, even though I don't understand a thing that's going on, it was fun. We went to one of my friend's sister's house who actually works for the football team, and you got to listen to it on the podcast.
Yeah.
Us, everyone cheering. It was really fun. Chad Morris is our former coach.
That's right.
And he was also Auburn's former coach. And I remember at bid day, he just kept.
He's at Auburn now as the offensive coordinator.
Oh, okay.
But
At bid day, he kept talking, and everybody was just wanting him to shut up. We honestly did not care. So for that reason, I'm obviously going to go for Arkansas on this one. And I think last weekend gave everyone some excitement and confidence. So I agree with Greg on that.
All right. Yes.
Wait, so Chad Morris was at y'all's bid day?
He was.
Yeah, he came up on the stage and did this. We had to call the Hogs with him. And, obviously we're all okay, come on.
It was really fun because I watched it because it was on the computer and I got to watch it because I couldn't go because I had to take Carson to a soccer game that day in Jackson, Tennessee. But the Morris gets up on the stage and he just talks and he talks and he talks.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, read the crowd. And to his credit, Eric Musselman, who can be kind of a weird guy, the basketball coach, but he's kind of out there. He read the crowd. I think Musselman's speech lasted 30 seconds. He was like, on, off, bye, see you.
Yeah.
Morris just kept talking. It's like, man, you that's not what they're here for right now, Tim. There's a day for this, but it's probably not this day. All right.
That's probably why he only lasted a year.
Yeah, he just didn't have people skills. Alabama is heading to Ole Miss on Saturday as we tape this. It's still scheduled for a 5 o'clock start on ESPN. Alabama is a 24.5-point favorite coming to Oxford. Campbell, I think you're up.
Well, I'm obviously going to go with Alabama. Maybe Ole Miss will get a rain out, something. I will say Ole Miss did beat Kentucky, and now that Hugh Freeze is not the coach, it's a little easier for me to cheer for Ole Miss, which was not the case before.
Why is that?
You know why, so.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I will be picking Alabama.
I think I do know why. Greg, what do you think? You got Ole Miss getting 24 points.
I mean, I'm not going to sound like a homer here, but, I think I'm just going to take Ole Miss here and just keep my fingers crossed that we get that late touchdown to cover the 24.5. But, obviously there's going to be a gap between Ole Miss and Alabama right here. But, give it time, give it patience. And once Lane, gets his players and his system, to the fine tune that he likes, I think it's going to be, a better ball game in maybe a year's time. But as of right now, we're hoping for a late touchdown to cover the 24.5, just because, I think it's a big number, but it's a good number, but they've got it right. But I think it's, either a 28 or a 21-point ball game for sure.
I laid them in our picks, and I don't feel great about it for two reasons. One's the weather, obviously. And then two, Alabama's got Georgia next weekend. And I just think once they get to a certain place, because I don't buy the whole Nick Saban hates Lane Kiffin thing. There's no evidence to make it true. I think, in fact, Nick Saban kind of likes Lane Kiffin. And I think once this game starts to get to a point where Alabama's comfortable that they have it, I think they've got to start thinking about turning the page and moving on, and that might create a backdoor opening for a cover. So I think you're right, although I went with Campbell on my picks. But,
I will say about, the difference between last year's Ole Miss team and this year's Ole Miss team is, whenever Ole Miss got down to Kentucky, late in the third quarter, you kind of see last year's team just kind of lay down or not, I don't know. I just saw, they kept trying, they kept pushing away. Prime example is that guy, chasing down the guy that went for the long touchdown run and then stopping him on fourth down. It's just, it's little things like that keeps you coming back for sure.
Yeah, Ja'Cory Hawkins' play was interesting. And then I'll tell you what I thought was the real interesting sign for Ole Miss. 2 weeks in a row, they've been down 2 touchdowns. Kentucky went up 28-14. And I think last year Ole Miss kind of rolls over there. And 28-14 becomes 35-14. And maybe they come back late, but they don't ever come back in a way that makes you think they're going to get back in the game. This time they immediately scored 28-21. And then I thought a really good sign was later in the game, and I can't remember exactly when Snoop Connor scored, replay overruled it. Ole Miss ended up getting nothing there. Instead of kind of folding, they got the ball back, marched down, scored, kind of negated that. If I remember, it was early in the fourth quarter. That was, if you're an Ole Miss fan, those were two pretty good signs.
Those are good characters, regardless of however you look at it. But I have to agree with you. Just keep grinding away, and the results will eventually keep coming.
All right, last game of the day, at least on the schedule as of the way we know it right now on Thursday morning. Mississippi State, fresh off of that defeat at home at the hands of the Razorbacks, they go to Lexington to play the aforementioned Kentucky Wildcats. The game 6:30 Central, 7:30 Eastern can be seen on SEC Network. Mississippi State is a 3-point underdog. So I think, Campbell, you're up. Kentucky giving 3 at home against Mississippi State.
I'm going to pick Kentucky for this game because Arkansas went to Starkville and beat Mississippi State right after the week that Mississippi State beat LSU, if I'm correct.
That's right.
And, everyone, like even Parker was like on this guy's Instagram comments that goes to Mississippi State that she went to school with and was like making fun of them for beating LSU one week and losing to Arkansas the next. So maybe Mississippi State lost some confidence and they're going to lose to Kentucky.
Okay. Makes sense.
I mean, yeah, I have to agree with her on this one. I look at Mike Leach, and he likes to win big games and then turn around and lay an egg in the next game when, he's supposed to win particular games that he doesn't win. But I think, Kentucky's a good team. I think they kind of broke out of their mold a little bit, trying to pass the ball and, control the clock in that last little bit with Ole Miss last weekend. So I think, Kentucky sticks to their guns here, and I like it a lot, and I'll actually consider it a solid lock. But I think Kentucky rolls here with two touchdown win.
Something to look forward to, Greg, that involves Campbell's friend Parker. It also involves LB's Meat Market. At some point in this season, we are going to bring Parker in for a week of the Butcher versus the Spin Instructor. And here's the deal, Greg. Parker, who is an otherwise perfectly normal young woman, has never had a hamburger.
And she refuses to eat one too. And I remember her, like, she was on the phone with her dad, and her dad was like, this is the perfect opportunity for you to get on the podcast and try one. So I think she'd be willing to do it if she got.
Yeah, we probably need to have a segment with her eating the hamburger as we do the picks, and so she can elaborate on the whole situation of her eating the first burger of all time.
We might have to tape it a different time to make that happen, but we can do it. And so the plan is we're going to get her on, and we need to make sure that you defeat her, Greg. And if you
does she eat meat though?
Yeah, she eats meat.
Yeah. She told me she's scared of ground beef. I don't really know what that's supposed to mean. But she's yet to try a burger. So.
Well, she's going to.
That's new to me.
She's going to lose. We're going to go to LB's. We're going to get some ground Wagyu beef, make it really good. We'll grill it. And we'll have her. Maybe we'll have her come down here, and we can do it in such a way that she has her first hamburger, in this case from LB's, right here on the show.
Yeah, we might have to put a couple of jalapeno poppers on that burger to make it even better.
Well, we might want to put those on the side for day one. But yeah, they're good. That's how you can put them on there, and if she doesn't want them, I'll have them. That is my weakness, is those things.
Or I'll have them.
I love those things. I love so many different things at LB's, and I swear to you, that might be my very favorite thing. I love them.
Yeah, that cream cheese and ribeye sausage stuffed mushrooms pretty strong too. I think I can sell that by the gallon. It's like ice cream.
It is delicious. Yeah. All right, that's going to do it for this episode of The Butcher versus the Spin Instructor. Greg, real quick, give people the phone number they can call you to kind of place orders or whatever it is that they need to do.
Yeah, 662-259-2999, and just call the store. We'll get you set up. If there's anything particular you're looking for, if we don't have it at the store, we'll order it for you and get it taken care of. I know there's a lot of special orders that, people are, trying to get out there with the seasons changing, kind of like chili grind to make chili with and other stuff like that. So we'll get you taken care of. Just give us a call and, give us a heads up on everything, and we'll set it over the side and get you taken care of.
Awesome. All right, Greg, I will see you here in the next day or two. And Campbell, I will see you tomorrow. Be careful driving, and good luck to both of you on your picks this week. And we'll be back next week with another edition of The Butcher versus the Spin Instructor, presented by LB's Meat Market. Until then, I'm Neil McCready. Take care.